one that seeks to excavate what the problem is, the latest problem in Uganda's arts industry. The promoters of the music, the promoters and organizers of the events, and everything that goes around that. There is tension. I'll be introducing my guest very shortly, but let me just give you a preamble. In the recent past, promoters in Uganda have been divided into factions following what is being described as misunderstandings among the leaders. On one side is a gentleman called Balaam Barugahari, and on the other is Alex Musinguzi, or Abitex. They are the power centers when it comes to music promotion in the country. This morning in studio we have one of them, Balaam Barugahari, who is also the founder and top honcho at Balaam Marketing and Promotions. A very warm welcome to the program and good morning.
Good morning to you.
I do not know where to begin this because there's a lot. The latest split threatens to tear the industry more, but just bring us up to speed with what exactly is going on from your point of view.
You'll first of all allow me greet the viewers of NTV.
Of course.
Thank you for sticking to the finest and the best television in the country, NTV, when it comes to information. Yes. We
are honored. So right now we have reports, and I must be very specific about this as a journalist. We have reports and counter accusations and allegations of trying to muzzle by seeking to go ahead of others in the management and streamlining of how business is done. Where are we right now?
You see, one, your reports sometimes are not factual. Sometimes they are negative reports. Sometimes they are unfolded report. I want to thank you for inviting me to get the right information. We don't have any war in the entertainment sector. Currently what we have is government, through the different factions, they have requested us to organize ourselves better so that we benefit from the prevailing government projects. You see, in the past, Balaam Marketing, Abitex Production, KT Promotions, all these promotion companies, we were doing things independently, individually. In Uganda, you could call it kweyagaliza. So, along the way during COVID, we noted with concern that it was important to associate. So, we formed associations, different associations. So different associations, for instance, we had the National Promoters Association and we had the UpNet Association. So along the way, we negotiated for relief as members of association.
That's right.
But the relief you get as members of association, those are handouts which are not sustainable. However, government has a lot of programs, prosperity programs, that can be tapped in if at all we had federated. So we are informed or advised, you better federate.
Okay.
But before we could federate, the two strongest associations on ground had to unite for us to be able to form the Uganda Entertainment Promoters Federation.
Okay.
So along the way, we met at Alusuts in Mutundwe, where we agreed, all of us, that we need to federate. Resolutions were passed. They were sent to RSB for registration. But along the way, one promoter, my friend, my elder, Musinguzi, Abitex, during that time I was organizing a concert with the Palazzo. He went ahead of me, behind my back, and signed Allen Skin. They organized another counter show in 5 days at Freedom City, which was strongly promoted by the opposition. It looked like an opposition rally in Kampala. So they ended up breaking gates. People entered the gates.
Interesting.
People never paid.
Okay.
So, I mean, we thank God that there was no death. because all ghettos poured. It was a ghetto celebration. So they said the whole ghettos muje, they all entered.
Okay, inevitably you do bring out something that I would be dwelling on a little bit later. The fact that the misunderstandings and perhaps the
actually I wanted before you interject. So along the way, the promoters, the national delegates, who composed of all delegates from the different sub-regions of Uganda, sat and they decided and said, now this president we put to help us federate. Before he could federate, he's organizing counter shows against his vice chairman. So they did what they called, they censured him. After censuring him, he said, no, I've left this federation. Now I'm going to join another association. I can never work with Balam, I can never work with KT. He decided not to work with the 38 of 44. The 2 went low, the 4, the 3 inclusive of him walked away. So they formed the parallel association. However, yesterday we were able to federate. And the purpose of federation, there are 5 benefits, or 3 or 4. One is united voice. URA is stressing us. So who's going to talk for us? The federation. Not the individual association, not the individual companies. 2, we should tap into circles. This is, you had one of our leaders recently formed a foundation, and he was able to walk away with billions. Supposing these federations like FUFA and all these other federations tap into that manner, and we develop sports and we develop talent and we build better theaters, we build better facilities. So we would like to have that benefit. Okay. And then the other thing is we would like to protect our members. We need to protect our members and also to have a united bargaining power.
When a Ugandan out there hears promoters or music and concert promoters, all they see are those that are prominent and do conduct most of the concerts and the music shows around the country. If we were to ask, what is the structure right now? You've talked about associations and the need to federate.
Yeah,
federating does not take away the operations of associations.
Associations, yes.
It doesn't. It only offers you an opportunity to talk one voice on those aspects that you need to push.
The way you see law development, law society.
Law society, that is right. Across the country, can't promoters, for example, organize shows even when they are on the same day? You said there was an issue between...
You see, we had agreed in the previous past, when you do a concert on the same day with your colleague, it affects his turn-up.
How?
It does. Because you see, the party goers are the same party goers. Apart from this scenario where ghettos were open, the gates of ghettos were all open, that you see, all ghettos come, we are going to give you free sada, free food and free everything.
Are you suggesting, Mr. Bargahari, that Chameleon and Bobby Wine or Bebe Cool cannot hold a show on the same day because
they can hold at a distance.
All the party goers
they can hold at a distance. I'll give you an example. Eddie Kenzo had the Eddie Kenzo festival at Kololo. Supposing Chameleon had the Chameleon festival along NTV Road on the same day, what would happen?
Still, people would go to
No.
whichever side they want.
You see, there are people who love Chameleon. I will give you an example. Allen Skinny supporters, most of them are Parasol supporters. Get me right?
But still, that
Allen Skinny's supporters.
The two musicians were able to get.
They were able to get, but would have gotten, like Cricket Over would have gotten times 2. And then the amount of money you pump into to compete and advertise. You see, someone comes up for 4 days. You've been advertising for 3 months. You've spent close to 18, 20, 40 million on advertisement. He comes up with 10 million for 4 days. He will close the gap, because what my brother Johnson Omolo will do, he will just sign, say, for each advert is 10,000. Okay, you've paid how much? 10 million. Those are how many adverts? 100 adverts or 1,000 adverts. Play them in 3 days or 4 days. You'll end up having more traction or more traffic than me who had scheduled 5 adverts per day. So it is not, competition is healthy, but you don't do competition to fail others. So we felt it was important.
Just ring fencing returns from music.
No, we are not.
Yourself.
We are not ring-fencing. What we are doing actually, we are streamlining and eliminating unnecessary fights. You see, fights amongst artists.
Can't you separate the business and the politics? Because when you say you're eliminating fights,
we are eliminating
the
unnecessary fights in the music.
The politics
you had the politics of music, but unnecessary fights. For instance, you see, Palazzo, Aden Skin worked with his organized group to Palazzo's rehearsals. They ended up fighting. Now he created the sympathy. You know, when someone beats you and you raise your hands up, it means you are innocent. You have surrendered, but the man continues to hit you, not knowing that the man was playing on his. It was an unorganized crime, where you go and someone hits you at his event or in his location. Then someone already is capturing on phone. You see, which journalist was there to capture those moments?
No, that's a video that was shared by any one person that had a mobile phone. These days, anybody can do a recording anytime without. So
that's what I've told you, that we have organized the crimes.
However, if one person is beaten and the other one takes advantage of that particular incident, you cannot blame the one who is beating as the victim. It's
what I've told you. You see, as promoters, we can always think that who will make for us money. Can you go and beat Baby Cool? So why beating Baby Cool? What if you
can you help us demystify this once and for all? When we hear people beating themselves up or even causing a bit of tension, you guys are simply trying to advertise your next.
Others are doing that. That's what we're eliminating. Nobody should conduct a concert. I want to thank Afrigo Band and Clever J. Clever J did his concert on Friday. Afrigo had their anniversary on Saturday, and everybody got. That is the kind of industry we want.
Those were two different.
No, I'm saying, see, this is the kind of industry we need. If Chameleon can do a Friday and Bobby Wine does a Saturday, that is very healthy and good.
Okay.
Because nobody will blame the other that I didn't get money.
All right. Are those the only challenges that you people are facing in ensuring that Ugandans get good music?
The other challenge are these politicians who are putting politics in entertainment. I keep telling people, me, I'm a promoter. But a supporter and a leader in the MK movement. But I will not bring my MK movement at my concert. So my MK movement activities will remain in MK movement. I will continue doing my activities, but on the day of Aden Skin, I saw politicians, I saw Lord Mayor, I saw my brother, my MP of Chira, Honorable Samujunganda. I saw the mayor saying, "Fede tutia danger, fena tugenda mu Freedom City." So politicians made it a rally. So what we need to ask our politicians, kindly stay away from entertainment. Let us come to your rallies and entertain you. Let's come to your rallies.
Politicians are consumers of entertainment.
Yeah, let them wait for us to entertain them. For instance, on this coming weekend, this coming week, many musicians have been paid, and others have offered free service to go and perform in Soroti at MK's Baraza. But that doesn't mean MK will come and start talk about politics in music or take sides, that he will not support Cindy and leave out Shiba. For him as a leader, or as a political party leader, or as a group leader, I would expect the Lord Mayor, who's the chairman of FDC, to love all the artists, regardless of their political party affiliation. So let me ask the politician to emulate from Museum 7, who has never posted that don't go for so and so's show, but he calls everyone my child, my grandchild.
All right. Registering the federation, what will it mean? How will it run? Because it seems people might not agree on who is the perhaps president of the federation or chairman. What is the structure you're looking at?
One, not everybody will agree to your federation. This has happened when FUFA was trying to stabilize. There was Dennis Obua's faction and another faction of Kakaire. But with the time, we have one Federation of Uganda Football Association. So National Promoters Association, where I belong as a vice chairman and where Abidex was as a president, and the UpNet where Ibra is the chairman, and where Luba is something. So those associations merged up. We sat together and resolved to federate. So we got regional representatives from all the 18 sub-regions of Uganda. Talk about Karamoja, Teso, Lango, Acholi, West Nile, Madi, Bunyoro, Toro. We all came up together. And we've constituted what we call the National Assembly of all promoters representing those specific regions. So now when we decided to have that National Assembly representative of the region and 16 representatives from NPA and 16 from UpNet, now we constitute what we call the National Assembly. So yesterday we converged and people offered themselves to stand, or people were nominated for positions where I was elected. I was proposed, seconded, and elected unopposed. And my other colleague, Mpora David, was appointed or elected first vice chairperson. Another gentleman called Lubulwa Moses, the one of Lua Property or Chopa Chopa, he came up as second vice president. And another lady from Bukamuli, big events, she came up as third vice president. So all the other regions elected their regional representative to constitute what we call the executive. So that executive is all encompasses, and my call to all the other associations where my elder brother Abitex and Bajo belong is we are calling the association to come and join our federation so that we work together for the good of the sector. All right, Mr. Bergahare, it's good to have you here, and it's an opportunity to ask and help the average Ugandan understand how the things work. When a concert is organized and there's a lot of money made, you first pay the musician their take? No. Or the musician waits for collections? Organizing an event, number one, you pay the musician before you advertise them. Before you advertise. Number two, you secure a location. Number three, you secure a police permit, and you pay the URA fee at the police counter at Naguru. So before the concert gets underway, before the advertising begins, a musician has already gone to the musician has, yeah, because you can't advertise someone you don't have a contract with. So you pay the musicians, you pay the venue, you secure permission from police, you also notify URA, and URA verifies that you have cleared their outstanding, they are not demanding anything. Then now you do a concert, you advertise a concert. So for us as promoters, we are investors in music. The same way you set up NTV, and before even you get an advert, you put up the infrastructure, you do Serena, you do all this cabling and etc. It's the same way we do in art. We speculate that we may get, sometimes we end up not getting. Oh, interesting, yeah. But you've signed up for not getting and getting a lot. Yeah, for us, we are investors. Okay, lastly, what would be the direction? You've talked about what you guys want to do in terms of the federation, but what are the prospects? How do you see yourselves in 5 years from now? One, we are going to become stronger. And before I forget, I need to thank the Ministry of Gender, the Honorable Minister Betty Amongi. And I also need to thank the commissioners and the PS in that ministry, Agre, Chivenge, and Juliana, and all the team in that ministry. And then our line supervisor, who's Uganda National Cultural Center, ED Francis Ojede, for doing whatever they can to ensure we federate and to ensure we have a peaceful election, and also for giving us guidance. Before I leave out, the most important person, who is the architecture of unity and consolidation in art sector, who's the patron of our art sector, General Salim Saleh, regardless of his business schedules and assignments as a senior presidential advisor on security, he gives time to our sector. All the time you see him reconciling warring parties, doing this and that. General Saleh is a hero of our sector. And I will finally thank the promoters who traveled and who are working across the country for believing in unity and formation. We pray that with our joint voice, URA Commissioner General and his team will be able to listen to our grievances, and those with the challenges with URA should be handled with care, so that we are able to build the sector.
Okay, Mr. Balam Belgahar, founder Balam Marketing and Promotions Agency, many thanks for making time for the show.
You didn't introduce me well.
And sharing.
You didn't introduce me well, sir.
Who are you?
My name is Balam Belgahar Atenyi, the National Vice Chairman of MK Movement, the alternative government in Uganda, the incoming government of Uganda. But also now I'm the president-elect of the National Entertainment Promoters Federation.
You've just done what you told Elias Lukwago not to do?
No. There's a difference. I'm an investor.
I'm afraid we're going to have
for
to
him he's a mayor. Let him focus on the mayorship.
Thank you very much for the perspective shared. We now take a break, and as you replenish that cup of coffee and get re-energized, we shall be talking about financial inclusion for women in business and how far the Uganda National Financial Inclusion Strategy is in terms of execution. I'll be back.